So family and friends, I welcome you here today to Miramar National Cemetery. On behalf of the director and the entire staff, our most sincere and heartfelt condolences go out to you, ma'am, as we recognize the life and legacy of your husband. Without further ado, the United States of America honors the memory of Saket Kumar Ambasht. This certificate is awarded by a grateful nation in recognition of devoted and selfless consecration to the service of our country and the armed forces of the United States of America. Signed, President Biden, Commander-in-Chief. Family, please be seated.
On behalf of the President of the United States, the Department of Veteran Affairs, and the Nation, please accept this flag as a symbol of appreciation for your loved one's honorable and faithful service.
Family, at this time, I'm now going to open up the floor for a few endearing remarks.
Hello and namaste to all of our guests. I'm Nishi, Saket's wife. We thank you for being here today. Saket passed away on January 31st of this year. It has been a little over 4 months, and we are marching forward with these beautiful memories. Here are some of mine. It was November 17, 1986, a week before our wedding. I was meeting Saket for the first time. Freshly traveled from USA, my young, handsome, soon-to-be husband looked excited and a bit nervous. We met a couple of times before the wedding for shopping and dining. It was non-conventional for the times, especially in the region of the country I grew up in, India. He, however, convinced my parents to agree to our meetings. Saket looked very energetic and full of life. He had a sharp intellect with many, many great ideas. He was steely focused and always had a smile on his face. There was hope and enthusiasm around him, and it never changed in the 35 years, 2 months, and 1 week of our married life. While traditional and staying within norms, Saket was progressive in his thoughts. He was open to making changes in his professional world and personal life. An undergraduate in chemistry, Saket worked as a chemist for a couple of years. He developed a knack for making the purest products using his fast developed expertise. Next, Saket joined the Air Force. He was very proud of being a U.S. citizen and thankful for the opportunities given to him and his family by this country. He always made sure to tell everyone that he had joined the military on his own accord and as a thank you to this nation. Saket's first station was an air weapons controller at Myrtle Beach Air Force Base in South Carolina. He was always good at the task in hand. There were some challenges though. Saket was directing planes for air to air refueling, however, he was left handed, so his right was everyone's left and vice versa. Saket had a clever idea to correct his confusion. Every time he sat down at the radar station, he would mark left and right on his desk. Meanwhile, we were getting to know each other. An arranged marriage and coming to a new country came with its own surprises. I grew up in an environment where most of the times I was accompanied or chaperoned when leaving home. A funny story comes to my mind from Myrtle Beach. We were running low on groceries. I had made a list and brought it up with Saket that we needed to go to the store. I remember distinctly Saket was reading the Time magazine. He looked up at me and said, "Okay, I will see you later." I was bewildered and asked, "Aren't you coming?" He said, "No, you have a car, driver's license, and a checkbook. You can do it." Those were my first steps to becoming self reliant. It felt great. Saket was my de facto teacher in many ways. As I think back today, I feel like, poor guy, he had no idea about what he was getting into by marrying me. During this period, our boys, Anurag and Nishant, were born at Myrtle Beach. After 4 years of active duty, Captain Ambasht pursued his long-time dream to go to medical school. He joined USUS, the Uniformed Services University of the Health Sciences in Bethesda, Maryland. A career change and being a student came with its own challenges. We had a year old and a newborn at home. The second and even more challenging fact was that Saket had been out of school for 10 years by now. He often sat in the front row of his class to pay full attention to the lectures, only to fall asleep and wake up to his snoring and drooling. Yes, it was embarrassing, but he did it. Many of the fellow students used to lovingly call him Pops. He did a great job too as a husband and a father. Saket finished his studies and assignments at the library, and once he came home, it was family time. He played with the kids and cooked meals for us as time permitted. 4 years later, Dr. Ambash joined Wilford Hall Medical Center in San Antonio, Texas, for his residency in internal medicine, followed by fellowship in gastroenterology. Times were more challenging, with longer hours at work and fewer hours with children. I remember one morning when Saket was feeling under the weather, and I suggested that he should take the day off. He looked at me and said, "There is no such thing in residency," and left for work. 48 hours later, when he came back home, I asked him how he was feeling. He looked at me in a funny way and asked me what was wrong. Apparently, he was already feeling better and had forgotten all about being sick. Post training, Saket was stationed at Keesler Air Force Base in Biloxi, Mississippi. He brought great changes to the gastroenterology department at the hospital. While being busy, he managed to enjoy attending our children's basketball games, piano recitals, going to the beach, photography, and cooking delicious meals at home. Our Air Force travels took us to Anchorage, Alaska. Saket single handedly managed the gastroenterology department at Elmendorf Hospital for the first couple of years. Again, he did a terrific job, and once his military commitment was over, Saket started his own private practice in Anchorage. I had the pleasure of working alongside him in our business. These were precious times when we had all of our meals together. Meanwhile, the kids went off to college, found the love of their lives, and got married. Saket was very proud of Anurag finding Ankita as our elder daughter and Nishan finding Nalini as our younger daughter. He cried with joy and thoroughly enjoyed dancing at their weddings. Arya and Anjali, our granddaughters, brought immense happiness to Saket. He had all the plans to spoil them and also was planning on buying a boat to please Arya. The first time she pointed at one and said, I want to go on the boat. Secretly, he wanted it for himself too. Saket played piano in pool with our 3 year old Arya and read books and sang Bollywood songs to our 5 month old Anjali. During one of the Alaska weather escapes, we flew to San Diego and Saket and I fell in love with it. He built his dream house and planned on retiring here. Every evening he took pictures of the beautiful sunset. Recently retired, Saket was very happy in San Diego. Every time he looked at the water and felt the warmth of the sun, he said, Nishi, we are living the American dream. I feel saddened by his early demise, but very proud of him leading a full life. Today, I'm very happy about his military honors and final resting place here at the Miramar National Cemetery in San Diego, California. Saket, I thank you for the wonderful ride together as a married couple. We laughed together and grew up together. Thank you for being my friend, husband, and teacher. Thank you for our boys, your love and care for me. Thank you for everything you did for us, your family, and friends. You were never presumptuous of anyone around you and always treated everyone with respect. Your favorite line was, no one wakes up in the morning planning on doing a bad job that day. You believed in the goodness and sincerity of each human being and gave them a fair chance to bring out their best. We, as a family, will live up to your ideals and pass it on to the future generations. May the sunshine and warmth of San Diego always fall on you, and may the cool breeze of the Pacific Ocean always keep you happy. Goodbye, my loving husband. May your soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm just going to read off of my phone here. For the majority of my life, I had the honor to witness my father proudly serve our country. As an Air Force brat, Dad's military service formed the bulk of my childhood experience and imprinted a strong moral compass upon me. The Air Force holds 3 core values: integrity first, service before self, and excellence in everything you do. My father embodied and exemplified these values throughout his life. I could not ask for a better role model. Lieutenant Colonel Saket Kumar Ambasht, MD, a man of action who continuously sought to improve himself. He pursued every opportunity to experience what life had to offer. Not a single day wasted sitting idly by as the world moved around him. He quickly amassed an incredible collection of life stories in such a short span of time, and he was always willing to share them. Having now had a few months to reflect, I realized Dad's life can be summarized with just one word: service. Service to country as an esteemed officer, a tactful soldier, and a fierce leader. Service to humanity as a willing mentor, a compassionate doctor, an enthusiastic teacher, and an expert healer. Service to family as a loyal son, an endearing brother, a loving husband, a noble father, and an encouraging grandfather. Dad truly sacrificed himself for others. The number of lives he either impacted or saved is not in the hundreds, but in the thousands. He genuinely believed in helping others regardless of any personal inconvenience or hardship. For all of his sacrifice and hard work, Dad had reached the pinnacle of the American dream. He immigrated to the United States at a young age and endured every conceivable hardship. Through blood, sweat, and tears, Dad built a wildly successful life while laying the foundation for our family's future. For as much as he gave this world, Dad never thought the world owed him anything in return. However, we all do owe this to Dad. I am incredibly honored and beyond proud to have this opportunity to memorialize my father here at Miramar. May his intense and enduring legacy provide a bright guiding light for generations to come. Thank you.
I'll keep mine short. So I'm Nishant, and yeah, I think that theme of service really sticks out here today when we think about dad's life as an airman, as a physician, as a family man, and he really did a lot for others. And in the last few months since he passed away, I've had an opportunity to kind of reflect on his life and think about kind of what he taught Bhaiya and I, and think about the type of people we want to be. And service to the community, to the family, is definitely some strong beliefs that he held, and we hope to carry that on. So this is a great honor for him. He did a lot for other people. I'm glad that he was able to have his resting place here in this beautiful cemetery.
In the memory of our only son, we have endured hardship after hardship, spiritual agony, even though the daughters have taken extreme care to lessen our grief. May God grant your soul peace. You left us at prime time, giving Hardesty any chance to endure and stand equal to the demise and sudden passing away. May your soul rest in peace. बेटे को लोग कहते हैं आँखों का नूर है ज़िंदगी का लुत्फ़ तो दिल का सुरूर है हदम उसी के दम से हमेशा है रोशनी चिराग बन के बुझा कर चले गए.
तुम मेरे 21वें जन्मदिन के भेंट थे. तुम इतनी जल्दी सारे रिश्ते तोड़कर चले गए. अब मैं अपने हर जन्मदिन पर तुम्हारी कमी महसूस करूंगी. तुम पूरे ज्ञानपुर परिवार के लिए एक उदाहरण थे. तुम एक होकर भी लाखों के बराबर थे. तुम लेफ्ट हैंडेड थे और सिर्फ लिखते थे अपने दाएं हाथ से. तुम्हें गोल्फ, टेनिस, बिलियर्ड, पिंग पोंग, कैरम, चेस, ब्रिज, फोटोग्राफी, गाना गाने और खाना पकाने का शौक था. तुमने अपनी हर सारी जिम्मेदारी निभा ली. तुमने एयरफोर्स में भी सालों सर्विस की है और एक डॉक्टर होकर लोगों की सेवा की. तुम अपने दादा और नाना के घर के प्रिंस थे और सभी अब तक तुम्हें प्रिंस के नाम से ही पुकारते हैं. तुम्हारे अचानक गुजर जाने से मैं बिल्कुल टूट गई हूँ. जैसा नाम मैंने तुम्हें दिया उसी धाम में चले गए. तुम्हें सत सत नमन.
Devoted to the country, Mr. Saket Kumar Ambasht joined U.S. Air Force, joining U.S. Military Medical College later and securing MD degree with specialization in gastroenterology. Saket Kumar Ambasht served as U.S. Air Force healthcare provider up till his rank as Lieutenant Colonel. Later he served as healthcare provider for people at large as well. Being a person with virtues galore like sharpness, smartness, punctuality, concern and compassion for people, intolerance to injustice and the like, God presumably had in store for him larger mission, and they took him away from the world at a time when he thought of leading a relaxed life. Dr. Saket Kumar Ambasht will remain immortal in his relations' minds and in the minds of people who came in contact with him. Dr. Saket's father-in-law.
He left for his heavenly abode very early. Handsome, intelligent, sharp, straightforward, highly social and helpful. He was a self-made person. He respected traditional values. Untiring person, he strived to do a lot and achieve progress in little time, which to quite an extent he did. Got to my mind had in store for him more important work, and such took him away soon. He will always be remembered for all he did in his rather short life. Saket's mother-in-law.
My brother was a genius with a memory recall from the age of 2. He was my elder brother, protector, caretaker, showering me with gifts, a pearl necklace set, a black diamond citizen's watch, a black dress with a red sash and bow. Wherever he went, there was a camera around his neck. At parties, he would croon Mukesh and Kishore songs. He cooked in his tandoor and made mango ice cream. He drove cross-country from Maryland to Alaska. He enjoyed playing carom. He crocheted mom's blankets. He remembered all the significant dates and all our family's trials and tribulations. He was our de facto family historian. He lived his life in warp speed, flying red-eye, fully engaged, talking into the wee hours of the morning. He kept in touch with all our kids. His comments on Facebook were thoughtful, eloquent paragraphs. His departure has left a hole in my heart with no one to confide in or ask a question. He knew about everything. Someone said to me at his funeral, "Oh, now you are the eldest," and I answered, "No, he will always be the eldest."
Thoughts from our family. Deepika. He treated everyone, but especially women, with genuine respect and appreciation for who and what they were. Prashant. To the man with the golden heart who has gone too soon. Wherever you are, I know you're brightening up the room with your relentless optimism and cheery disposition. I miss you dearly and love you so much. Pranav. He left us with a mission to live our lives to the fullest, just as he did. My husband Mani Raj. He was a great family man. He kept his rights even in America. He was a self-made person and an inspiration for others. From me, your sister, the love that you had for your parents brought you home to Virginia before your final journey home through the skies to heaven and into God's arms. Maybe you'll spontaneously hop on that next cargo flight and visit just like you did when I was in Hawaii at the medical conference. Until we meet again, lots of love, your sister Namrata.
My brother left us too soon. Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Saket Kumar Ambasht was incredibly generous and truly brilliant. He regaled us with hilarious stories, rich with details thanks to his photographic memory. He captured stunning photos with equipment that rivaled that of a press photographer. My sisters and I only had one brother, so he was special to us. He was my parents' firstborn and only son, a gift on my mother's 21st birthday. They shared June 30th for 61 years. He lived life fearlessly and was always up for adventures. He would do anything for anyone. Although soft-spoken, he did not mince words. When I was in high school, Saket, then 23, took me shopping. A dress caught my eye, but I gasped at the exorbitant price tag and insisted on a cheaper dress. At the counter, Saket bought me both of them. That's just how he was. That's how he always was. Saket, we will always miss you. We love you. Your sister, Benita.
Other qualities that I would say that everyone should emulate, it is honesty, dedication, caring, and the doggedness that no kidding, that if she feels like somebody needs something and I'm distracted, she'll kind of grab my hand and say, "Hey, I need this done for the sake of this patient," and I've always appreciated that. ओहरे ताल मिले नदी के जल में, नदी मिले सागर में, सागर मिले कौन से जल में, कोई जाने ना।